Hello and welcome to Down to Earth. Our question this week is another great one from one of our viewers, and it was easy for me to think about because I'm also having the problem in my garden. As you remember, I recommended gazania plants as a plant of the week not too long ago, and I'm having trouble with them in my garden. They seem to be dying back from the middle, which is also the case for our viewer. They do look like they might be too dry, and you might think you need to water them. But actually gazanias need so little water that's what's happening is they're getting too much water. We did have a wet spring, so if you have some clay in your bed or the water drains into your bed, these plants are getting too much water. So the likely thing that you need to do is to cut back on your watering or to move them to a place where they'll get less water. They are very easily moved. They're perennials and they can sometimes be evergreen, so if you can get them through the summer and move them in the fall or even next spring, that would be even better. Our plant this week is a miniature rose, Red Cascade. This is a small mounding rose, which makes it different from a lot of our other choices, and in the spring it's covered with really pretty small red flowers. It tolerates some shade also, which many of our rose choices don't. More sun is obviously better, but shade will be just fine for this rose. It's also hardy well below zero, as many roses are. As all roses, it's deciduous in most climates, as it is in ours, so it does need to be pruned heavily in January. It's a little different on pruning your mounding roses than it is your obvious cane-like roses, but just prune it back kind of hard and it will flower more for you. You can also train this rose to be a climbing rose, but it does prefer to mound, so give it plenty of space. It is also resistant to common rose diseases, which makes it a very easy one for us if you like roses but you're intimidated by them. Diseases such as black spot, mildew, and rust, which are very common in roses, your Cascade rose might get this disease, but it doesn't really hurt it too much. You can tolerate it. The size of the plant will depend on how you plant it. It easily tolerates clay soil, which makes it an easy one for us again, and it doesn't need much water, but watch it in the heat and make sure that you do give it a little extra if it's too hot. To do in your garden this week, there's still time to plant pumpkins and squash from seed. If you're looking to have those pumpkins and other squash plants these fall and have some fruit from those, you can go ahead and still plant those in your garden. We'd love to hear from you. Visit klru.org/ctg to send us your question or a plant of the week from your garden.